You saw it, didn't you? I gave all the right answers. Wasn't it wonderful? Could have been an actress, don't you think so? At 85, Julie Christie is completely alone. The Oscar winner who once dated Warren Beatty now spends her days in silence. Her husband of 46 years died just months ago in May 2025. She was spotted at a local laundromat, unrecognizable with silver hair and no makeup. But that's not the saddest part. Christie has been battling a secret condition for over a decade that's slowly erasing her memories. The truth about what really happened to Hollywood's golden girl will shock you. Julie Frances Christie was born on April 14, 1940 at the Single John Tea Estate in Chabua, Assam during the British Raj. Her father managed the vast plantation, while her mother was a Welsh painter, whose free spirit clashed with colonial formality. Julie grew up between two worlds. There was the strict discipline of plantation life and the unpredictable warmth of her artistic mother. She spent much of her early childhood in the care of her Indian nanny, who sometimes tied her to a tree when she became too mischievous. Surrounded by beauty, privilege, and cultural complexity, she developed an unconventional view of the world. Her life changed completely at 6 years old. Her parents sent her alone to England, placing her with foster families and enrolling her in the convent of Our Lady School in St. Leonards-on-Sea. It was not a temporary arrangement but a permanent break from her life in India. The warmth and color of her early years were replaced with the cold, rigid rules of convent education. She was expelled from her first school for telling a risque joke, and soon after was asked to leave another. She eventually ended up at Wycombe Court School in Buckinghamshire, but the damage had been done. The free-spirited girl from Assam was now confined to institutional walls. Her decision to attend London's Central School of Speech and Drama was more about wanting the lifestyle of an artist than any burning passion for acting. Behind her public image, she battled crippling shyness. Warren Beatty called her both the most beautiful and most nervous person he had met. She hated seeing her photo on magazine covers, knowing the stories attached to them were far from the truth. Fame came so suddenly that she never learned to be comfortable with it. She compared being recognized in public to being Lassie the Wonder Dog. The anxiety was so strong that she often avoided roles altogether, and even decades later directors had to persuade her for months before she would commit to a project. Her stage beginnings were modest. In 1957 she performed with the Fritton Repertory in Essex. Far from the glamour of London, she turned down several high-profile roles in later years, including the Russian Empress in Nicholas and Alexandra. Her extreme selectiveness came from a fear of repeating herself, which limited her choices but ensured that when she did accept a role she gave it everything. Director Sarah P.Y. said that once Julie committed, she gave herself completely to the work. Julie Christie's first real taste of fame came in 1961 when she starred in the BBC's science fiction series A4, Andromeda. The show was created by Cambridge astrophysicist Fred High and television producer John Elliott, and it told the story of scientists who pick up a radio signal from the Andromeda galaxy. The signal contains instructions to build a powerful computer. Christie played two roles: Christine, a brunette lab assistant who dies in a mysterious suicide inside the computer lab, and Andromeda, her blonde clone created from DNA. The computer kills Christine, then uses her genetic code to produce Andromeda, a beautiful but dangerous being with an alien mind. At one point, Andromeda warns the humans that her kind will take over and theirs will die out, like the dinosaurs. The series was the BBC's first big adult science fiction drama since the Quatermass serials of the 1950s, and it made Christie a television star. She only got the part because of a last-minute change. Actress Topsy Jane was originally cast, but she fell ill right before filming began. Christie stepped in, and that stroke of luck became a pattern in her early career. Director John Schlesinger had turned her down for a kind of loving in 1962, calling her too exciting for the role, and he also rejected her for playing Anne Frank. But when Topsy Jane had to quit Billy Liar in 1963, Schlesinger cast Christie instead. He even rewrote her introduction, so she appeared walking through a jazz-scored montage in a redeveloping part of town full of style and confidence. Around the same time, she was considered for Honey Rider in the first James Bond film Dr. No, but producer Albert R. Broccoli chose Ursula Andress after being impressed by her figure. After a for Andromeda, Christie built her television presence with smart choices. She had trained at the Central School of Speech and Drama and made her stage debut in 1957. In 1961, she appeared in Call Oxbridge 2000, and in 1962, she briefly returned for the sequel The Andromeda Breakthrough. She only appeared in one episode before the BBC refused to pay a $300 option fee to keep her, and Susan Hampshire took over the role. That same year, Christie moved into film with her debuts in The Fast Lady and Crooks Anonymous, 2 Ealing Studios comedies. These early roles, especially A for Andromeda, helped define her mix of innocence and glamour, setting the stage for her later film success. Still, she worried about being trapped in science fiction roles. Her concern proved valid years later when she starred in Demon Seed in 1977 as a woman held captive by an AI computer called Proteus I-4 that wants to impregnate her. Reviewers compared it to Rosemary's Baby, but with technology instead of the occult. The story of computerized conception and genetic